Cold emailing these days is a science. So if you don't really know what you're doing, it's going to be quite tough. So I'm going to break down my cold emailing cheat sheet, walking you through it step by step, showing you how to get replies and book some calls. So let's get into it. So number one is volume. Personally, I never send emails. I never send out a campaign that's less than 10,000 emails. That's how I scaled my agency to 100K in 6 months, was just pure volume. I was personalizing the first line of my emails, and then I went into hyper personalizing, and then it just absolutely scaled from there. The replies that I was getting, the meetings I was booking, and then my ability to actually close a deal was getting me 5 to 6 to a maximum of 13 clients in a single month. With a hyper-personalized system, you can expect 1 reply per 100 emails and a booked call per 500. So if you're sending out 10,000 emails, that's 20 booked calls. I think the difference between just the one-line personalizer and the whole personalized email was I was landing in more inboxes due to every single email just being completely different. When I was just sending the one-line icebreaker and then using spin tags below, I could maybe get away for 2 weeks, and then I'd have to warm up for 2 weeks after that because I'd realized that my response rate was dropping, meaning I was probably landing in a few more inboxes. So then I have to stop the campaign, warm up for another 2 weeks, and then start sending out again. Whereas with a hyper-personalized system, I'm just sending email constantly, landing in inboxes constantly, and booking meetings constantly. Number 2, subject lines. Do not sell in your subject line. Don't say things like AI automation for company name, lead gen system for company name. Do you want to buy this? Company name. If people have an inkling that it's a sales email, they just won't open it. So you want to use something called open loops to make them want to open the email. Things like quick question, first name is just standard but works. People have been sending to me, which makes me open it every single time, and I don't know why. Is that you? First name? I don't know why it makes me open it, just always does. Or should we, ? First name. Lunch tomorrow, ? First name. You get the gist. Just do not sell. The email length. My rule is keeping your email body no more than 70 words. If it's the start to where your signature goes, if that's above 70 words, you're going to look at want to condense in that. I don't include the PS. I don't include the PS in that. I have 2 PSs at the bottom. I won't count that in the email word because it's right at the bottom. But if your email body is more than 70 words, I just look at getting that a bit lower. I think anywhere between 50 and 70 is probably optimal. And the reading time as well, maximum 15 seconds. You can use a tool called wordcounter.net and you'll be able to see the read time, and you'll also be able to see the amount of words. Follow-ups. Stretching your campaigns, as you can imagine, statistically increases the chances of someone replying to you. So I'd say aim for a follow-up every 3 to 5 days, because any more than that, you're probably going out of their mind. You want to really stay top of their mind. So when you get the second follow-up and the third follow-up, they're thinking, this guy again, and they'll know your name by then. And I wouldn't really stop until you get a hard no, a hard stop, unsubscribe, fuck off. You get the gist. Even if someone sends a reply like, it sounds good, but I'm not really interested, you still want to sort of reply to that because they've given you some sort of sniff. Something sounds good, and you're going to want to figure out what it is that sounds good there. Your email copy. Your offer needs to be really clear, and you have to have relevant case studies. If you haven't got relevant case studies, then your offer needs to be an absolute no-brainer. You just give them an offer, something they cannot say no to, and you follow up on that promise. So a really simple one was, we helped XYZ achieve ABC in Y time. We also did the same for 123 company. Test different variants. I say a minimum of 3 in your first copy. If you're doing something a bit more generic, test 3 different variants. But if you're just starting out and you don't want to use too much capital and you're doing something a bit more generic, then have maybe 5 or 6 different variants and just keep testing it to see which one's getting better replies. Switch off the ones that aren't doing well and just keep testing and keep the ones going that are producing better response rates. And instantly, I know you can see this in the campaign. You can see what sequences, whether it's A, B, C, or D, and you see the response rate next to them and how many people have replied. So you can just keep switching on and off to see which one does better. Keep a 2-to-1 you versus I ratio. You want to focus more on what's in it for them. What results are they going to see? What are they going to achieve by speaking to you? And then end your email with a CTA, a call to action, so some sort of question. And I'd test soft ones and I'd test hard ones. So hard ones, you're trying to book in a call. Would this be worth a chat? Are you free tomorrow at 2:30? whatever it be. A soft one is, can I send more info over? Mind if I share the templates here? Is it okay if I send over the video? And keep testing. I find it better with soft ones. I prefer soft, but test hard ones as well. Some people do say, yes, let's just book a call. Mind if I share my link? That's a good one. That's like a medium one. And most importantly, save the best till last, deliverability. A lot of people say warm up your accounts for 14 days. Personally, I haven't had good experience with warming up for 14. I need to do it for 21. 3 weeks minimum for me, and that's what I do for any clients that are maybe on a free trial or on a guarantee. I say you're warming up for 3 weeks minimum. Make sure you deactivate open rate tracking. You don't want to be sending any pixels or any hidden links in your email copy, because that could get flagged as spam. Avoid spammy words like risk-free, guarantee. A little trick is if you put a space between a £sign or a $sign and the value. If you are saying, we helped someone achieve X amount, put a space and it's not considered spam. A tool that's really good to help is if you go on Mail Meteor and you just copy and paste it in there, and it will tell you your deliverability score. Now, sometimes it can be a bit pathetic. I'd say poor is still okay, because even things like now, the word now, you, stuff like that still gets flagged as spammy. But I think if you're sending it in a hyper-personalized way with loads of different emails, you're going to be absolutely fine. It doesn't matter. Just things like risk-free and guarantee, and like I say with the £sign or the $sign and the value, keep them separate. They definitely will be considered spammy. A lot of people say 30 to 50 emails as a maximum per email account. I just say 30. Warm up your campaign slowly. On Instantly, there's a feature called campaign slow ramp up or something like that, slow campaign ramp up. It will just gradually increase the amount of emails that get sent each day from those email accounts. Obviously you start off a bit slower, because I know especially when you've hyper personalized the emails and you're really excited to get going, and suddenly it's sending 4 emails a day, it can be quite annoying. But it's best for your deliverability. You've got to really be patient with stuff like this, with email deliverability, because it is a science. It does get difficult. Don't send any links, to your calendar, or don't send any pictures, any GIFs, some stuff like that. There is a way to send Loom videos, which is pretty cool, but I feel like that's getting kind of saturated now. I'm getting loads of emails myself with just Loom videos. It is pretty cool how you can just hyper personalize them, and I probably will show that on my channel at some point. Personally, I don't use it though. I think it's a waste of time. You're best off just going on LinkedIn, to be honest, and getting an automation tool and sending 30 DMs a day. You get a really high response rate on that. And if possible, for example on Instantly, you can just send emails as plain text, no HTML or anything like that, just plain text. And if you pay attention to these, you'll be good to go. Hope you enjoyed this little crash course. Write notes and stuff where you can. Watch it again. I'd recommend you watch it maybe 2 or 3 times, just so you sort of get this ingrained in your head. These are very much the basics, but also very, very important. And if you have any questions, ideas or concerns, just drop them in the comments, and I've been replying to everyone, so I'll reply to you too. And I'll see you in the next one. See ya.